good morning, folks. It is Motivation Station with Rose and Sanjay. Rose, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Sanjay. I was showing off my kicks that I'm in a shorts, t-shirt, and kicks, ready to rock the day.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. How are you? How was your trip to New York? I didn't even get to talk to you about that.
First of all, I want to say that last episode, I did not wake up. Okay, let's
Oh,
just start
right,
with
right.
that. I
Yeah,
did
no,
not
it's fine.
wake up. I was like 12:30. I woke up at 12:30 when everything was over, done, and I'm like, oh my God, right? So it's first time happened. I'm gonna tell you why it happened. Last week, let's before the trip, right? Let's talk before the trip. A little quick update what happened last week, why I did not wake up.
Mm-hmm.
So as we were talking about giving, right, which is one of the parts of being spiritually healthy, and we're talking about health today, and the last episode was about the health. You did a fantastic job on that, and I was so fascinated about your journey, how you keep going, and you're fighting off your the battles, and it's just so inspiring. And and I was like, okay, so I was reading the book about giving, and um, last chapter left. I'm super excited. I love it, and I started my giving journey. So giving more, thinking about where else can I give more of myself? What can I do? I started giving 10% of my wage, everything that I make on the side to a God, right? So, and I decided everything that I put it away, that 10% is going to go to our mosque that my family owns. And it's going to go to my mom's name on her 40th day. So,
Hmm.
which is it's going to be a great honor. So, if anyone wants to participate and donate a little on her name, I'm going to transfer everything to my nephew, and my nephew's going to give it to the mosque for the students, for feeding, for construction, anything that the mosque needs, obviously, you know, to keep it growing. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my decision. It's amazing. I love it. And now, after I start doing the giving, of course, I start receiving, right? You give and you receive. Out of nowhere, I end up having a cleaning business. I have a cleaning degree. I'm a professional cleaner for hospitals, buildings, and commercial buildings. So I know exactly how it needs to be done in the hospitals because it's very important. It has a different cleaning, not just mopping the floors, right? So over a sudden, there's a couple of people that own Airbnbs and cottages, and they constantly rent them out. So they lost their cleaning lady. And now all of a sudden they're like, we need a cleaning lady. I said, I have a professional cleaning degree. I could give you a professional cleaning. And over a sudden, I had my a beginning of my morning to half of my morning till the noon. I started doing cleaning. It was like 3 days in a row. One cleaning, another cleaning, another cleaning. And after that, I was still going to work at the Gordons till 12 in the morning. So can you imagine? Out of nowhere, 3 days in a row, I worked since like 9 in the morning till 12 at night. And by the time Sunday came, my body was just in the mood like we're exhausted. We can't, I couldn't even wake up. That's the only reason I did not wake up. And it was just, I'm grateful. I'm definitely grateful. This is a new journey. I
Mm-hmm.
came out of nowhere. And now I have calls like, oh yeah, do my house and do my house and do my house. And I do actually have two cleanings today. And I need to reschedule one of them for another day just because it's a detailing and just because I still have the 2 o'clock. mm, I have to take a class at my job, so it's just not physically possible for me to be at the two cleanings.
Right.
And it's just like a wow moment. I was like, okay, now it's a cleaning business.
Yeah, it's crazy how some things like will creep up on you. And yeah, no, I totally get that. Like I had messaged you and like I saw no response, and like within like the last few minutes I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna run it, and I ran whatever I could. But
And
that
you did
happens,
really great job. Yeah,
and I
exactly.
appreciate that. And yeah, and of course, I mean, like the hustle's real, right? And some things just kind of come back, and you don't even notice. Like I met a few friends. I'll tell you my story later, but I met someone that I started talking to, and they're like, "Oh, they want to get into acting and stuff like that," and I was like, "What a coincidence! Like I have something I need someone to act in." And it's just crazy how things
I
like
love
kind of come
acting
along.
too.
You're kind of
You know
far.
that, right?
I need you to have to fly out to Jersey for this one. I don't know if I can fly. I can do some shots in Atlanta, but anyway, or Georgia. But anyway, yeah, and that's fine. I think like for the most part, especially when it comes to Motivation Station, we have a lot of plans and stuff like made through. So a lot of it is just riding the wave for us right now, and I think we're doing a really good job at it. But of course, life comes, right? We never know what's gonna happen. And like for me, the reason we didn't do the episode Saturday was because I decided to take the priority of going to the beach. And as much as like I'm actually not a huge fan of the beach. I don't like going, right? And more so because like if you go to like Jersey or anywhere like that, like it's always packed. There's always so many people, and I like if I go to the beach, it's like I want to go somewhere where like the best place I like to go to the beach is Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. Like I like
That's my
my
hometown.
so like we my friend's uncle has a condo that like when you leave the condo and go outside, there's a little pathway that goes to a private pool, right? So people staying at the condo can use the pool, and then if you want to go beyond that, there's a walkway that goes straight to the beach. And since it's like A, off season, and B, it's a little bit more private, like when you go to the beach, like it would be us and maybe like two other families at best, you know.
We
So
gotta
like
call him.
yeah, so no, let me know, man, and we can make it work. But
I
uh,
definitely, Myrtle Beach is my hometown,
uh,
so
yeah, no, I started going with their family like almost a decade ago, and they used to just invite me with their family. So we would all drive down. We'd stay there for like 2 weeks, and it was a good time. They treated me like family. But then after a while, like our timing wasn't lining up because they always go like they're there right now. They left today or last night, and they go for 2 weeks. But like, it's hard for me to go during August, especially right now with the transition of like a new job and everything happening on my end. But anyway, so like that's how I like to go. But more than anything, the only reason I want to go is because my mom wanted to go. So I was like my mom loves the beach, she loves the water, she loves like the sand, and she wants to go with my daughter, right? So I was like, all right, these are reasons enough for me to like make sacrifice the day and go, and we could do motivation station later. And it worked out. Like we went. They had a blast. It wasn't that bad to me. I just kind of laid under the umbrella, put on some music, and like
hmm
the funniest part is like even though the beach was packed, like it was packed, right? It was interesting because like nobody was really loud. There wasn't too many like noise around me. Even like people talking. Like I guess where we went to President's Beach. Like that's near Sandy Hook, I think.
yeah.
And there's no like there's not really a boardwalk. There's like a section where there's a concession stand, ice cream, food, whatever. But then outside of that, it's just beach and water. There's no like boardwalk, there's nothing like that. So like everyone that's there at the beach either came with kids or they're just sunbathing. So everybody was just quiet. So like when I was laying there for a while, all I heard was the crashing of the ocean,
Oh,
and that's it. And like sometimes maybe somebody talking here and there. So it was a good Saturday for me. But anyway, so that's the reason for both of us. Like Saturday was kind of, we kind of had to move forward, and that's fine. Life comes up, and I'm actually happy to hear that you have more more business and whatnot coming your way. I mean that's actually
I
just
am
great improvement.
so, yeah, I think it's very important to um, spend that quality time with your family, and especially now, we should definitely treasure every second when it comes to our parents, to our loved ones, friends. It's just, you never know. It could be a last call, it could be a last meeting. I'm not, putting in an upsetting mode. I'm just saying, just value what we have.
Yeah.
So definitely, I'm so happy for you that your Saturday went in this beautiful way.
Yeah, no, it was a good run, and then I was able to actually go to church that day too, which is great. And actually, one of the junior pastors became uh he got ordained, so now he's a
Mm.
reverend. So I was like, oh wow, what a day to actually show up. So congrats to Pastor, or sorry, I should say Reverend Dan and Reverend Danny, and yeah, it was just like overall, it was a good day. Um, but yeah, we decided for the month of August we want to get back on track for health goals. Um, a lot of it, especially the last few months, I think going June, July, May, June, July, May, April. Oh yeah, the basically last 2 3 months, uh, we were going a lot over mental health, which is obviously very important. But I think a lot of it is also starting to stem into the rest of our being, right? So like our physical being, our health, And last week we talked a little bit about being on a healthy journey. I mean, I made a vow to be a lot healthier within the next 3 months, because I think in the third month I'll be going to Myrtle Beach. So I want to make sure when I actually go that I'm like healthy and in a better place. But I've been on I think I mentioned before that I'm diabetic, so I've been on a goal to make sure I'm eating more right, eating more fibers, I'm eating more vegetables, greens, stuff like that, and just being on that journey. Now the tough part for that journey is like sometimes when you start, it's rough, right? Because your body's getting used to the changes, and I think I chose the worst week to start, because I think I had announced this before, but I got a new job, and I started this week. So my old job, I did 2 days this week, Monday and Tuesday, and it was a sad departing in a sense, because everyone's like, we're gonna miss you because you actually did work, and I was like, oh nah, don't worry about it. I'm sure you guys can actually do it. And like I left on such good terms that my manager was like, look, if anything goes wrong, just come back. I was like, all right, I'll definitely keep you in mind. So I started my
Okay.
new job Wednesday. I went to the office Thursday and Friday. It's it's interesting because what's happening is we're essentially rebuilding our level one team, and I'm gonna be the lead on this, which is kind of the position I wanted, but I feel like there's still a lot to discuss between me and like my company I'm working with. But I'm kind of excited about the journey, but I'm kind of like nervous too, because like I don't think we actually know what we're getting into per se. But like, I mean, I have an idea, but we still have a lot to improve on as
Yeah.
far as like
Mhm.
communication and stuff like that goes. But it was a tough week. I mean, fortunately this week it worked out that the first day I started and Friday I worked from home, so it was just kind of easing into the position. Thursday I went to the office. The office was gorgeous. The people are super nice. So like I'm looking forward to that sense, but I am going from a job that I was working at least 2 days from home and then 3 days in the office to just 5 days back in the office. And then on top of that, like I have to drive again, which I love driving, but I forget how much I hate driving in traffic. So I'm gonna have to plan my trips accordingly. Maybe leave like super early and come back a little bit later when traffic cools down, stuff like that. But I drove home on Friday and I was like the GPS is like take this shortcut and you can save 3 minutes. And then ended up taking me 7 minutes more taking the shortcut because it was taking me through like all the inner streets, all the like local streets. And I'm like, yeah, this just made everything longer. I should just stayed on the damn road. Um,
Yeah.
but it's a challenge. It's different. But then like it made me realize like this is what I asked for. I can't complain about this because, like, how they say when you ask God for strength, right? He doesn't give you strength. He gives you opportunities to be strong, right? And
Yeah.
this is what this is. I wanted, I wanted to grow, right? I wanted to become a better like technician, whatever. Like I wanted to get into a better position where I'm making more money and have a little bit more control. And this is what that is. This is the opportunity to grow into that position. So yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, Friday was a little bit rough for me, but like I thought about, it, I was like, honestly, I can just go back to my old job and be at peace, right? But then like I thought to myself, I was like, no, this is what I asked for. Like this, like why am I gonna complain when this is what I've been begging for and I finally got it and now I'm just gonna jump ship? Like it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
So I am gonna give it my all for sure. Um, but it's like what I wanted to tell you about like your thing. So as much as you're working at Mr. Ramsey's restaurant, right? And then you're also doing your cleaning business, and like obviously like you had that day where you work 9 to 12 and it kind of came out of the blue, right? Just always remember not to burn yourself out. Like you could definitely, especially for like your end of it, like the cleaning end, like it's great to have business, but it's also great to have control over that business, right? So you said it to yourself now, like you have two places that you got to clean, but you got to reschedule one. Go for it. Like that's not up to them to determine, it's up to you to determine, you know?
Yes.
It's a service you're offering and you have to do it at your pace. Like I don't want you to work this, do two cleaning jobs today. I'm sure you probably work tomorrow. You'll be burnt. You'll be spent, you know? So like you definitely have to like work at your pace, just like I have to work at my pace at this new job. I think a lot of it was just me thinking too ahead of what I'm gonna do in September and October. And I'm like, come on, man, it's only the second week of August. Like just take that week
Yeah.
and then move
It's
forward
about
and like
now.
yeah. So I'm finally kind of fighting that battle in my head and I'm getting there. And the reason I said it's the worst week that I started to do the diet is because once you start the diet and I'm doing like intermittent fasting, I feel weak. I feel tired because your body is like it doesn't have the source it uses for energy normally, which is all the bad food I'm eating. So it's like trying to find where to use the energy from, which is like the little fat I want to burn and whatnot, and like the healthy food I'm eating. But my problem is still I'm not eating consistently enough, right? And when I say that, I just mean consistently to the point that I'm eating the right food. Like if I'm hungry, I shouldn't go in the fridge and be like, oh, let me eat a slice of pizza and some, whatever, right? I should be. Let me have a smaller portion of a salad. Let me slice up some cucumbers. Let me slice up some tomatoes. Put a little of olive oil, whatever, right? And have a healthy snack or a healthy meal, right? So I also have like carrots. I have like just cucumbers I eat on the side. I have Korean carrots, which are actually delicious. Um, a little bit of fruit, not too much, right? Because like being diabetic, sugar is kind of the enemy. But natural sugar in doses is good for the body because fruits do have fiber, right? So plums, peaches, stuff like that is good. If I have a sweet tooth, watermelon hits the spot, So I'm doing better in the sense that I used to. So drinking diet soda and zero sugar soda, obviously artificial shit, is bad, right? But it's even worse because the fake stuff is a little bit more addictive. So I remember there was times where I was almost heavily relying on sugars when I wanted something sweet, right? So I would drink a soda, I would drink a soda. Now, fortunately, it didn't spike my sugar, right? So if I had a Coke Zero, it wouldn't break my sugar, right? But the thing is, it's still not good for your gut. So some of the things I started changing up was like I used to when I used to eat, right? I used to eat like if I ordered Chinese food or I was eating whatever, I would eat and drink soda at the same time. So as I'm eating, I'm drinking soda. Your body doesn't really handle that well when you're mixing the two, right? And I actually learned the same thing about water. So like when I like before I eat or whatever, like I'll drink some water, I'll eat and then I'll drink water after I finished eating instead of like during I'm eating, and that kind of helped
Yes.
with digestion.
Digestion.
Yeah, exactly, and stuff like that. So, but like I said, my biggest conflict right now is just like I'm tired. Like that's the biggest thing right now is that I'm tired almost all the time, and I think I just need a few days to get past it. Which to like going into today and tomorrow, I'm getting there, but I'm doing my best to just like get up and do work and do my things.
Yes. It
Um,
takes 7 to 10 days. Yeah.
yeah, it's yeah, and like
For
I
your
like I said,
taste buds to change.
I started my last job on Wednesday, and by Friday we needed a goal done, which for the most part we got it done. And now next week we have a big goal that we need done by Friday, and I'm like I'm gonna be fighting all sorts of demons trying to get through the day to make sure I can reach that goal. And I mean I think it's possible. It's just that I have to be consistent about it, right? So I named today's episode "Consistency and Determination," right? Not just in the
Okay.
sense of what I'm gonna do for my diet, right? But when I get up in the morning, like I'll get up and I'll snooze my phone, right? I'm gonna start getting up and just like snap awake. Like not slowly, like, let me get my phone, whatever. I'm just gonna sit straight up, like bolt right up, because like that little shock will be like, okay, like I'm awake now. Hop in the shower and then go to work, right? The greater determination for that is if I wanna beat traffic, I'm going to go a little bit earlier, you know? On top of
Yes.
that, I'm gonna meal prep the night before. So when I leave, I just pick up and I go, right?
Beautiful.
My goal this week, 110%, is I'm not going to eat out at work until Friday, right? Because Florham Park, Morristown is like the area I'm working in. Beautiful area. I actually found I went once with one of my James, my friend James. We found a place that was
Mm-hmm.
called Sunday Motors or something like that, right?
Okay.
It sounds like a car dealership, right? But what it is it's a breakfast place, a breakfast brunch place that like celebrates cars. So they have a nice small parking lot,
Oh.
and I remember I went there, and they had like old school American cars. They had some, supercars, stuff like that. And like people come and they like to talk about cars and stuff. And I'm like, yo, this place is nice. And I had like a bowl that was like yogurt, quinoa, seeds, nuts, a
Oh
hot,
dear.
yeah,
Options.
yeah, like oatmeal kind of bowl, right? It was so good. I was like this is I could mess with this, you know. They had nice Colombian coffee, like fresh. I was like, I could come here. And from where I work, that place is only 5 minutes away. So I to celebrate on Friday, I'm gonna go out there and have that. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Um, but yeah, so that's gonna be kind of the conversation
The
about
motivation is real.
the
I
the
want
the
to say,
motivation, consistency, and the determination. That's the key points this month.
yes, this is a great, definitely a great switch, right? It all starts with our thinking. Health, it's not only mental, it's not only physical, it's also spiritual and emotional. So I am super happy for you that you're working on your physical, right? Also with the mental. And for me right now in my journey, I am really working on my spiritual of that moment. I love this quote. It's saying that 2 days are very important, right? One day when you were born, and the second day when you know why you were born, right? When you find that purpose, why you were born. So, and I'm looking towards that spiritual health, that emotional health, that when you, to the core and the deepest of your soul and the body, you you just full. Your cup is full. And when your cup is full, you're ready to give. You're ready to eat better. You're ready to go out there, be in the sunlight. You're ready. And I am so like into this journey at this moment of my life, this forgiving with putting at peace, right? The next book I'm about to read, Listen to the Heart, when it has so many pieces of choice, right? That's what it says right here. Peace comes through trust. Peace is experience in the present, being in the present, being in the moment. This is my next chapter for myself, being at peace, being more giving, being more emotionally stable, being more rational, being spiritually rich, right? And then all of a sudden we're mentally healthy. All of a sudden we're physically mentally healthy, right? When it's right here, we're good. Everything else is outside good, right? We want to change things around. And I'm grateful that um, I was provided with a cleaning um, experience right now. Why? Because God told me, you need to take a look around.
Mm,
Because I actually stopped because I was so emotionally and spiritually on the empty levels that my physical appearance of eating better, going outside again, doing my 10,000 walks, and just overall taking care of my space, I was just like, I don't want to do it. And I did not force myself. I don't force myself at all anymore to do things. Remember, we spoke about a couple episodes back half dos? I don't do half dos anymore. I said I want to get there when I feel like it.
right.
But and then I ask myself, what should I do to feel like it? Where can I grow? I said, God, I want to grow in this feel like it moment. He said, here's your cleaning degree. Get in the habit of
Mhm.
cleaning, so you can clean your own life. And I said, okay. And just growing on a spiritual health, on emotional health, on a mental health gets my cup more full. And I can say, okay, now. Now let's get some farm food. Let's get that cucumber going. Let's
Yeah.
get that greeny salad going. Let's have some quinoa bowl, right? Let's just hydrate a little more. Let's choose energy drink that has only good stuff and zero sugar and just vitamin D. Oh, we get some electric lemon going here. You know, it starts from here, and I'm super happy for you because I remember back in June you were working on your mental health, and boom, couple of switches, couple of different thoughts. You change the way you feel. Boom. Now your cup is getting fuller and you're like, okay, let's start going to the gym. Let's feel better. Let's look better. Let's look sharper. Here goes the haircut. Here goes the goatee. Here goes the tuxedo that you said, okay, I look good in a suit. Now you have a leading position at your job, which is I'm congratulating you. Now you're stepping up to the level, okay, now I want to look more sharper and I want to be more healthier, which is amazing.
Yeah, like I said, it's funny because it's literally, I guess, everything I've been asking for, but then like it didn't hit me until it hit me, you know. And yeah, like I 100% agree with you.
Cheers.
It starts
Cheers.
within. Cheers. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Let me get my
absolutely.
cheers. Yes, got my cat
Cheers.
cup today. Um,
Beautiful.
yeah, and I mean, I definitely, I mean, when I think about it, a nice 3 month journey through mental health. Um, it changed a lot of perspective. You know, like a lot happened, and I realized I was spending my energy probably in ways I shouldn't. And now that I'm a little bit more grateful of who I am, and I had the greatest company like yourself and Morgan and a few other friends who put that in perspective to me. People you told me that you're a good person, and like maybe I just wasn't hearing it enough, or maybe I just didn't believe in it in myself as much. But now I'm
Hmm.
finally seeing that light, and I'm seeing my worth there mentally, and now I'm just trying to get there physically. Now I'm just trying to spend more time with myself, and spend time with people that actually care, right? There was a quote that I read. I don't remember it quite right now, but it was more along the lines of like, you have to remember, like, people have to remember that your presence is a gift, not a guarantee. you know and I think for me, for the most part, I kept trying to be there for people who, they would appreciate that I'm there, but then like I'm not always there. And then for whatever reason, whenever I'm not there, I mean, I guess I feel like I know, with there's like, for example, if I don't talk to Morgan for like a few days, right? She won't wait for me to respond to say, "Hey, how are you?" And then she won't come back to me and say, "Oh, I haven't heard you I haven't heard from you for a few days. Like, how have you been? Like, what's going on?" No, it's if Morgan doesn't hear from me, she's the first person to respond. In fact, she's the person that, like, there's days where I'll start my day and I'm kind of hectic. I'm running around, and the first words she'll say every morning since I've known her, we're always like, "Good morning, happy whatever day it is, happy Monday, happy Friday, happy Thursday," and she'll be like, "This is
I
what
have
I'm
a
doing."
friend like that.
She's like, "This is what I'm doing today. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm doing." And we kind of send messages to each other throughout the day. And the more I think about it, I'm like, I do want to spend more time with Morgan, but it's super tough with her being in like France, so the time difference. But like, I see her, and sometimes I see her online, and I really should be proactive on like, "Hey, let's play games. Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do that." But my favorite part about my example for Morgan is that she never gives me beef when I don't. If I'm like, "Hey, let's try to play games tonight." "Yeah, okay, sounds good. We'll try." And then we don't talk to each other all night. And the next morning, it's not like, "Hey, what happened last night?" It's, "Hey, Sanjay, happy Friday. What's going on today? Like, this is what I'm doing." Like, our days just continue, but our conversations are always there. So, her and a few others are people. They reach out to me consistently, almost every day now. And like, I started to question, like, like, I felt like I grew close to people in the past that it was always me starting the conversation. And if I don't start the conversation never happens, right? And then when that was happening, I thought to myself that I'm the bad guy. But for no reason should I have
Yeah.
to be thinking that way. Like, why am I the bad guy for not starting the conversation first? you know. And I forgot who I was talking to, but we're talking, we're being pretty consistent, and it's like, well, we both. Oh, yeah, it was one of my other friends I game with. She's like, like everyone has a phone. We both have phones, you know. And I get that we're busy, and I think we talked about this way earlier in our podcast where we're like, it's not about having time, it's about making time, because time is always consistent, time is always busy, blah blah blah, right? But you can always just say, hey, what's up? You can just, see something funny happen and be like, oh, I just saw this happen, it was something funny, I just thought about you, something like that. It could be all these little things. But like when people choose to say that I'm too busy, you're choosing to be too busy, you know. Like the thing is, like, I get it, there's
Yes,
there's a
I
lot of
love
stuff
that.
in
Are
life.
you busy? Are you creating time?
Yeah. And like even now, like, so for example, like Sunday you couldn't make it, right? I'm not gonna, but I could have been bitter. I could have been like, yo, like, Rose, we're supposed to be consistent with this. Why weren't you here? Right? I really could have been that way, but I thought to myself, I was like, nah, she's probably like tired or something. No problem, I'll do it, right? And I
And
hopped
I
in and
was.
I was like, I'll catch you later. Just, text me when you can text me or whatever. And then we're caught up now, and now I found out what happened. I'm not bothered by it. It is what it is. Like, I would rather you succeed in your life and in your business and something like this show up than, even doing a podcast. Not that the podcast is not important. I know for both of us it is. But like you had this opportunity show up and you're like, I want to grow and I can put this part on pause because at least me and you are in a sense that we can lean on each other, right? So you're like, all right, well, Sanjay can do the thing. So I'll let him do it. And then, maybe when he comes to visit, I'll take him out to dinner. I know that's what you're thinking. And that's exactly what you're going to do for me. No, but, we were in good hands. So, I don't think it was going to be, any sort of problem. But now, like my mental state, because I thought of everything like that before, I'm in a much better spot. Like I'm not even bitter about the like people I'll reach out to and like they don't reach out to me. I'm not even bitter about like finding new people to talk to and then they talk to me for like a day and then they disappear. I'm just like, you know what, maybe I'm not their cup of tea, that's fine. And then I think to myself, there's 8 billion people in the world. I'll find a few, like I'll find a handful of people that I can get along with. It's cool.
Yes.
I'm okay with this, you know.
Your
So
people,
now,
it's your people, and they're
yeah.
always gonna be there.
So now I'm finally there. Now it's a matter of just making sure my health is good. And for me, the motivation and determination mainly comes from the fact that honestly, it's because I have a kid. Like I woke up this morning. I'll be honest. I woke up. I went to bed early. I'm going to bed a little bit earlier lately, which is good. Um, I woke up this morning and I laid with my daughter, and she has like a learning iPad. Like she like learns how to color and do all this stuff, right? And all I did for 15 minutes was lay there and just look at her. And I was like, this is a mini me. Like this is my legacy. Like this is what's gonna continue me. So I was like, I have to be here. I have to be here for the long run. I have to teach her well. And it's funny because like she's becoming more and more like, well, lately she's becoming more and more like my wife, very sassy, very fresh, whatever. Because the other day, like I asked her, I was like, Lily, I'm hungry, can you go get me like some watermelon from downstairs? She's like, no, how about you go? And I was like, yo, what the heck? And I like, because like I'll ask my wife for the same thing and my wife will say the same thing, and I'm like, I got two sassy women in my life now. I don't know what to do, but it is what it is. You gotta meet her. Like one day when you come up or something, we gotta make
Yeah.
the time. But like it's so fun to see her grow. It's so fun to see her becoming more and more of an individual. And she's a very kind kid, and like I don't know, man. It's a beautiful thing, and I think it's one of my biggest determinations to make sure I'm healthy. And I know for a while, like I kept falling off. I kept like, you know what? I'm just gonna have one candy bar, one something like that. But then one thing would lead to another, and like you just don't know when you start and you don't know when you stop. But lately, I'm just like I walk by, I stare at it, I'm like, nope, this for Lily, and I walk away. And that's been like a lot of my motivation. So I've cut out a good amount of like sugars in that sense. I don't really eat that much candy anymore, if any.
Yeah.
No soda. I drink coffee, but I do the mushroom coffee still.
Yes,
And
she
that
told me
yeah,
about
that
it.
that
She
one's
said
that
it's a
one's
great addition.
it's a great addition when I mix it into my smoothie. But if I also blend it, just like with water, and iced water, it's good too. There's like a nice consistency to it. I use almond milk time to time, and I recently, I recently discovered oat milk. which I knew existed, but I finally tried it and I actually like it a lot. But only with my smoothie or with my coffee. I won't drink it by itself. I do Greek yogurt, or this time I got kefir, kefir.
Yes.
Like the yeah,
Kefir.
yeah. So I started drinking that instead of like yogurt because like I have a habit of, if I have Greek yogurt, I have to put nuts in it. I have to put stuff in it so then I can eat it with some sort of consistency. So until I get used to the flavor of yogurt by itself, then I'll get Greek yogurt, like just plain Greek yogurt, and just eat that by itself. But I'm trying to stay away from like peanuts and stuff like that because you can have them in batches, like just like short batches. But I can't control myself because like, when your mouth gets bored, you need something to chew on. And for a while,
Yes.
I want to use like no calorie gum, like just like sugar free whatever gum, just so I have something to chew. I know it's like empty calories, but like at least I won't get hungry to eat something else that's gonna make me take more calories or more, whatever. But now peanuts has become my thing that I keep my mouth busy with, But I think like now if I get hungry, I bought baby carrots, I bought cucumbers, I'll slice them up and just have pieces of them here and there. Um, and it's filling. Like I actually don't realize how filling it is, but it's filling. I also like to slice up cucumbers and put it in my water. Drinking lemon water is very good for you too. So I'm just trying to consistently stay with that. My new job, I'm excited because sometimes I get bored of water. They have a it's kind of like seltzer water, right? Like it's like bubbly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's flavored, right? So they have like watermelon, peach mango, stuff like that, and it's just water, like flavored water that's like healthier, and like when you drink it, it really just tastes like water with a hint of whatever flavor you got. So sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
can get the ones that are powders and you mix it into your drink and it's very strong, right? It's very apparent. But this one is like it's very light. And I think so I work for a Japanese company, which also is a dream for me, right? Because I love Japanese culture, food, people, whatever, right? And when I started working there, like my one of my direct guys I work with is a Japanese guy, and he speaks English. He speaks English very well, actually. And like as we're talking here, and I learned this Japanese company, I'm like, this is even more motivation for me to learn Japanese. Like I've always wanted to learn Japanese. Now, if I learn Japanese at this job, the job might just hire me. They might be like, hell yeah, like we'll take him. Like he's very good at what he does, and he speaks Japanese. You know what I mean? So my goal now to do an hour every day or 2 hours every day of learning some
And I'm
Japanese.
wishing you a vacation to Japan from the company. Let
Uh,
them send you for some
the the
traveling.
the funniest part is that next year I mentioned I was like I want to go to Japan, and they're like, oh okay, we have office in Japan. I was like, hell yeah, like like if things work out and I can work there, I will happily. And listen, if
Put
I
it
move out.
into
Yep,
manifestation.
I'm gonna put that. And so, like, I'm not gonna lie. On Friday, I had not a fallout. I had a not so great conversation with my transition manager, right? So we're talking and we're kind of like butting heads, but I think we're on the same page, but we're not. And we keep butting heads, but like professionally, But there was moments where like she had to talk to my manager had to talk to me, and was like, "Hey, can you like kind of tone it down?" And I'm like, "I don't really have a problem. I can tone everything down. I need direction, like, or else I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, you know." So we talked about it, we got over it, and I have some work I have to do and whatnot, right? And like even talking about this now, like yesterday when I finished work, I was spent, I was burnt, that's why I was thinking like, should I just go back to my old job? Like it doesn't even seem like it's worth it, right? But when I started thinking about it in a sense that I'm working for a Japanese company, which I like, right?
Mm-hmm.
The office is nice, the people are nice. My partner, like my direct partner that is working remote, she's amazing, And I'm like, I just have one thing that like probably is not I'm not getting along with or whatever, but like this shouldn't determine the fact that I can go full time with the company. If things work out well enough, I can even go to Japan at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I learn Japanese, I mean the biggest thing is like it's a 3 month project right now, and if we succeed in 3 months, then it's like ongoing because it's basically like a trial, right? So I'm working for a company that they're trying me and this other person out to be their tech support, and if we do good enough, they'll hire us. and like we'll be part of the team or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, so after 3 months, I'll see how things go, right? But I'm like, there's like the little things that are bothering me, like, oh, I have to drive in traffic. Oh, I'm having a little beef with, like, whatever. I'm like, no, I have to think about bigger picture stuff. I'm with a Japanese company that if I do well enough, if I learn the language, it's just sky high at that point. I can do whatever I want. And the best part is in the 3 months, even if it doesn't work out and I still try my best, when I walk away from this opportunity, I'm even better than where I started. I can go to jobs. I can be like, I have this experience under my belt, and I know how to speak Japanese, and like stuff like that will go far because there's
Arigato.
there's places in yeah, there's places in New York that like my friend was trying to hook me up with a job, and it was a Japanese job too. And he's like, it's fine that you don't know. And I was like, no, but if I work there, I'll learn, right? And it's funny because it's funny that you say that because yeah, of course that means like thank you. But when we were there with our service desk manager, the company ordered lunch that day, and like when he was getting the food, he was like, "Oh, arigato," right? And he said it like with an American accent because he's like an American person, and they all kind of like were happy. They were like, he's like he's speaking the language respectfully, not like a joke like haha arigato. Like he just like he took some food and he was walking out and he was like arigato, and he like did a bow and everything, and they were like happy that he kind of respected that. So I'm like, that's exactly how I am. But it was day one, so I don't want to do it
Yeah.
that day. Like this guy was a manager for however long he was. If they think I'm
The
doing
way
it,
to
they're
the people's heart through
what?
their
Well,
language.
wait till they see that like I'm not there to just kind of show face or like be respective by like pretending to be their language and stuff like that. I want to show my respect through my work, and then after that like my language and stuff like that. And it's great because like the guy I'm working with, like I said, he's Japanese, and the funniest part was like my whole team was there when we met up for lunch, and then after lunch they left and I stayed because I had more work, and they started talking to me and they're like, "Oh, tell us about yourself," right? Which is great.
Konnichiwa.
So we started talking, and I told them I was like, "Yeah, I'm into anime and I'm into like Japanese culture," and they're like, "Oh, really? Like that's awesome." They're like, "What do you watch?" And I told them I was like, I don't watch new stuff, but I know some of the stuff I told them. They're like, "Oh, yeah, we knew that. We grew up with that. We watched that too." And because I realized they're like my age, they're like in their 30s, so
Mm.
like when the shows that came out, we watched them at the same time, and I was like, "Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, and this and that," and they're just like, "Oh, that's awesome." I named some like Japanese actors, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we know them. Yeah, no, we love them too." So I'm already building that like camaraderie with them, and I think they look forward with working with me. So like stuff like that is what's really keeping me going and determined. Like I can't let one little bad moment that happened with my whatever senior take away from all this other golden opportunity that's coming. So like some things you come to learn sometimes with people. If you don't get along with them, right? Here's the thing: you're not at your job to make friends. You know, you're there to work with them. You're there to work with them professionally. You do your business and you walk away, right? So that's like my attitude here. Like I'm not here to make friends per se. I mean, if I make friends along the way, fantastic. But essentially, we're all here to do business, and I just keep it at that level. We'll do our business, and that's it. That's it, right? So, that's how what it came down to, and like I'm not upset at this person or anything like that. I was just like uh I was just like you know what, like that day was what it was. I gave a call to my teammate afterward to just like kind of talk to her, and I
Mhm.
was like, I want to ask you, do you feel like I was being rude? And then she started laughing and she's like, no, you made some really good points. She's like, I'm sorry that I couldn't fully answer because like she was doing two jobs at once. She was like, you're just kind of like trying to figure stuff out and we just didn't have direction. And I'm like, okay, thank you, So we talked about like what we're trying to prepare for Monday. And I told her, I was like, I just want to thank you for two things. One, for letting me kind of like talk about our details, and I think me and you are on the same page as far as work goes. And I was like, two, for letting me vent. I was like, I thought I was crazy for being the way it was. And I told her, I was like, please just let me know if I'm being rude because sometimes I'm too blunt. Sometimes I'm too straightforward. And I do got to tone it back a little. And she started laughing so hard and she's like, no, 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 you were good. Like, you were fine. your points. And she's like, honestly, I'm on the same page too. I was just too busy to talk. And I was like, fair enough, fair enough. So I'm happy
Look at
that
that
I'm happy that
determination.
I have like a partner basically that like sees eye to eye with me, you know? So like this weekend, I told her, I was like, look, you don't have to do much work because she has a lot on her plate. Let me put some stuff together. I'm gonna shoot you an email this weekend. Just keep an eye out for an email. You know, if any questions, look at it. If you can't, just glance at it. Don't work if you don't have to, but just, you know, I just want to be ahead of the game here. So like that's what I'm gonna do this weekend. But I think that's the attitude I need to have, is that like sometimes I won't get along with people. Just keep your head low, do your work.
Yeah,
Like
you're
look
excited.
at these
I
golden
love it.
opportunities coming, you know? Like
Yeah,
I am stoked. And if I can go to
I
Japan, oh my
am.
lord.
That would be amazing. You know what I started doing this week? I'm gonna send you the link. It's on YouTube. It's so the first the couple hours that we awake, it's a alpha. We in the alpha state. Okay, and there's a meditation. It's binaural 1111 HC. So if you find anything 111, it's like four ones, right? HC. It actually works on your alpha state, and when you meditate in the alpha state, it's the best time to do a visualization meditation. Okay,
Mm,
not turning everything off, not being silent, because a lot of people cannot be silent nowadays because we're always constantly on the phone. Our brain is constantly wired, especially with sugar. But this one is great for visualization, and that's exactly what happened when I got the cleaning call on the second day. I did the one cleaning, and the second day I started doing the visualization. I said, I visualized that how phone calls coming in and how, things are happening, and boom, it happened. So when you do that in your alpha state, which is the first 10 minutes are very crucial when you awake to do visualization, it's actually, you're so tangible, you open to the space, you're so tangible that it goes out there.
mm,
It goes back to you.
yeah.
So I started contributing that on top of my gratitude that I do every day, like gratitude journal. So every morning I do that. I take my time for gratitude, for visualization, and take time for reading. That's like my 30 minutes of me and me together,
Yeah.
because that actually helps me to balance my day, not to pay attention to any distraction, not to pay attention to people's mood, because everyone who sees you, they see you as a perception of their own image, right? So, and we need to know that, to understand that's not our life, that's their life, that's not our picture, that's their picture. Whatever they think of you, as they think of you, of their own perception of your image, not yours. So that's why, sometimes when you speaking to your manager and be like, okay, bumping heads, you said, right?
Mm,
They saw your determination, they saw your motivation, like, oh, this guy is trying to step up the game and be on my position. And some people get that fear going, like, oh, what is happening? Am I losing my? They should be doing the same thing, getting better on it for their own good.
yeah.
And that is like, it's amazing that there's people that actually want to work. They're excited, they're motivated, right? And they keep it going. And we need people like that, because nowadays people don't want to work, right? People just want a handout. They don't want to work.
Yep.
And that is so amazing to see, like, your that passion, like, in everything that you ask for, you know. If you want to add that visualization meditation just for 5 minutes every morning, just visualize one thing. Visualize, started with an apple. Visualize an apple, and boom, somebody giving you an apple. You know, it's just like a small things that actually do matter.
Yeah.
And I was looking. I obviously I went to New York, right? Just let me contribute a little trip over there. So I went to New York. I had a fantastic time because I said I'm gonna be in the moment and I'm gonna be there for my people, for my friends. My friend Carol picked me up from airport. Thank you, Carol, so much. We had a fantastic day. Everything was spontaneous. I said I'm not gonna plan anything. We're New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of things to do. We decided to go to Gatsby show.
Oh,
Fortunately, it was
nice.
sold out. It was
Oh,
sold out.
it's
There
supposed
was
to be a
only
good one
one.
too.
Yes, one seat left because it's Monday. A lot of places are closed. They said there's only a few Broadway shows were open. We were trying to go to, but you know what? It's okay. Went to the movies. Went to see Naked Gun. It was the
That's great.
funniest
Yeah,
movie.
that's a
It's
great
so
movie.
funny. We went to
Yeah,
my one of my favorite theaters on Times Square. Who does that? And there they are.
all right.
Flying to New York, going to the movies, or walking around, doing whatever. And the next day, I met Gina. Hi, Gina. If you're watching, we're gonna watch later. So, and I just like, I said, little things matter.
Yeah,
And that's what I started telling to myself as well. Just be in the moment. Little things matter. Focus on now. Now you want to eat that greeny leaf salad. Now you want to be a little bit more healthier. Now you want to go to the gym. Now you want to like lift a little. You don't have to do too much.
yeah,
Just a little thing. Maybe a few dumbbell presses.
yeah,
Maybe two sit-ups. But it's matter. Maybe 5 minutes of meditation. five
yeah.
minutes of silence, 2 minutes of, I don't know, reading. The little things really matter. The consistency, the determination.
Yeah. I
But
think
we'll
that's
build up over time. It's going to be like, oh, wow.
I think that's I beautifully put just because like it both for mental health, right, and both for like the physical the physical goal that we're
We're
trying to reach, right?
transitioning.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
no, it's just like the consistency of the little things, right? Because I think for me it was that I didn't realize how much the little things matter. Like changing the diet up a little bit, stopping like one thing at a time, putting my time and effort into like what I want to put into, right? So I was able to with that like the big differences, right? I finished up my script actually this weekend. Which we'll talk about in our closing very soon. But like I'm doing a lot of things that are like small, but they're all adding up to a bigger picture. And now the bigger things I want to do are getting easier to do because they seem smaller than they did
In the
before, right?
beginning.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like before, I was like, oh, oh my god, how like one of my goals was like I wanted to lose 10 pounds comfortably, right? So you've seen me, I'm a small person already, but the point is like I want to lose like that unhealthy fat I had in me, right? And by the end of July, beginning of August, I already lost the 10 pounds. And it was from like the eating I was doing healthy, the gym, I was going to the gym, walking on the treadmill, like inclined for so long, stuff like that. It all started adding up. And like now for like bigger goals, now I'm like now I want to try to lift some weights, want to do some cable machines, whatever. My body feels ready to do it. Like I don't feel that hard anymore, like that, you know first time jitters or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to like getting deeper and deeper into that. One of the other things as well was I think I had mentioned like I was going through some financial strifes, like doing some stuff with money was
Hmm.
tough. Now with this job, like, I'm making a little bit more money, and it's interesting because a lot like the one of my old jobs I worked at, I got paid weekly, right? The other job I worked at, I got paid bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks, right? This job pays every month, right? So that's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting, right? And the thing is, in a way, it's going to be unbelievably helpful. You know why? Because when I get paid at the end of the month, right? The first week, I can knock out all my bills. I'll pay all my stuff off that I know is going to hit me during the month, right? And then I'll have an X amount left over. And that X amount should still be pretty high, right? But now I know for the next 3 weeks, that's the money I have. You know what I mean? Like getting
That
paid
is
every
amazing.
yeah, when you get paid every 2 weeks, and I was doing it a way that I had to do every 2 weeks because when I get money, I can pay off a bill. When I get money, I can pay off a bill. But now that I'm getting one big lump sum for a payment, I can use that to pay off my bills, and then what I see after, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this is my
It's
spending money for the week.
easy. Yeah. It's
So like a lot of people were telling me that like they're not upset that I did it or didn't do it, right? But they're like, you could use on some money management, better money management, stuff like that. And I'm like, I really wish I could, but I just don't know. Like, I guess I don't keep track well enough with my money, but it's kind of tough because it's just like I feel like I have stuff like like this last week I got paid was my green zone, what I call, right? So I had good money, but I finally got to do the stuff I need to do. So my car needed an oil change for super long, and I needed to fix a car part. I was able to drop it off. I had the money to pay it off. My mom, who I borrowed money from quite often, came up to me last week and she was like, I hate to ask, but can I borrow some money from you? And I was like, you shouldn't even have to like ask in such a way. I should be giving you more money. And I just haven't had the opportunity to. And it's like, I kept borrowing money from you, to be honest. So I'm sorry about that. So she's like, no, no, it's okay. But if I could just borrow this much, and then if you need it back, you can take it back. I was like, Mom, from the amount I borrowed from you, I don't think I should ever give money back to you ever, you know? And she's like, all right, but just in case, whatever. But I was happy enough that I had money to fix my car, that I'm gonna need to work good because I have to drive to work every day. And I was able to give money to my mom so she can pay her bills, right? So come September, my birthday month, beautifully, right? I don't really have plans for like my birthday. I don't really do much. I just want cake and that's
What's
about
the
it.
date again? What's the date again? So I
Twenty
don't
twenty
forget.
third, the 23rd. I think it's
Okay.
a. I'll tell you right now.
I
Hold
don't
on.
think you ever told me. Okay. You in the cusp of Libra and Virgo?
Yes, but I'm more Libra.
Okay. So,
That's what somebody had told me. That I'm more
okay.
Libra. Yeah, 23rd is a Tuesday. So, um,
Mhm.
I wasn't planning to do much. Maybe get away for like a weekend, right? And that's one thing I said to my job. I was like, because right now I'm a contractor. I don't really have PTO or anything like that. But like this
Mhm.
Friday, I'm gonna go do some filming. Like I have planned out with my friend that we have to shoot some shots, right? And one of the shots includes a pool, which he has, but he shuts the pool next month. So I'm like, all right, let's shoot that shot this weekend, and maybe a few others. But that's it, because like right now it's gonna be good weather, and I can't shoot a shot when it's cold and we're about to go into a pool, you know.
Yes.
So I'm planning to do that this week. Next, in September, when I have more money, I'll just do a weekend getaway. Maybe I'll take my wife, go to Atlantic City for a weekend. Why not? That's it's my birthday. I want to kind of do something. Um,
Okay.
October, we're going to Myrtle Beach, right? And I got to figure out that date and that time. Um, but I think by October I'll have that figured out. And then after that, think about it. It's already the end of the year. November, I'm sure I'm gonna have a Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving with my friend, and then December's Christmas, and then that's
Look
the
at you
year.
have everything planned out.
That's just
I
it. But
love
no,
it.
no. But to your point, the biggest deal, right? So New York, right? I agree with you. Like you can plan out your day. Like, hey, let's go to Central Park, right? And you're like, that's the day. We're gonna go to Central Park. We'll walk around. We'll get some food, right? But when the day comes and you go to do something, everything changes, right? So you'll probably still do Central Park, but you're walking. You see like jazz music in the streets. So you're like, let me hang out here. There's like things happening, like just in New York. It's New York, bro. Like there's shit happening everywhere. Then
Yes,
you start
there
walking around Times Square. It's just there's something everywhere, you know. So I kind of was half hoping I'd get a job back in New York, but I'm actually hoping that maybe
is.
after 3 months or a little bit after working at this job, I might look into working in New York again and making more money. And on top of that,
Okay.
mastering Japanese, right? So that's my goal
Yes,
for
and
that.
going to Japan. Tokyo is waiting
Ah,
for you.
Tokyo's calling
Ah,
my
yeah,
name.
yeah, yes. It's
I didn't
definitely
even I
calling your
didn't
name.
even I didn't even get to tell them that I was into cars because I think the company I'm with, they also do stuff with for cars, like on the other side of it.
Oh,
And they work for like Subaru, Mazda, Toyota, stuff like that. And I didn't get a chance to tell them about that I have a Subaru that I modded and stuff like that. But like they were excited to know that I was into like the Japanese culture and language. And I was telling the guy, I was like, by the end of this project, I'm gonna be able to hold a conversation. We're gonna be able to talk.
konnichiwa.
Yeah, just walk in, uh, yeah,
Don't
konnichiwa,
touch,
all that
don't
stuff.
touch, don't touch my mustache. That was funny. It's a
Mm,
clip of the movie. Don't touch my mustache.
yeah.
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 So I'm super excited for you for your
Thank you.
journey. Definitely what I've learned in my life this year that I used to be I plan everything. If something doesn't go according to a plan, I would freak out. This year I said my plan is flexible. So I switched the way I think about it. It is flexible. If if something doesn't go according to my plan, I don't change my goal. I change my plan.
Yeah.
So
Amen.
I still wanted to take pictures. I wanted a photo shoot in New York. I still wanted to get done what I need to get done, and I still wanted to spend time with my friends that it was at that moment available for me to see and just have that quality moment. And I
Mm,
did it all. I
right.
wasn't. I didn't look for any photographer or anything. It was just on the streets. I saw the guy taking pictures, making printouts. I said, "Can you take a few pictures of me?" He's like, "Yeah." He told me how to pose. He told me what to do. Took a few pictures. We had 15 pictures total. You're gonna see it on my birthday when I post it. So I was like, everything's happening because I already visualized it. I put it in my brain that this is what needs to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and it did happen. Maybe it wasn't according to the plan, but in the end, the trip, everything's happened the way it needed to happen.
Mm,
And I'm grateful for that, that I started being more flexible on things. Why? Because when you're more flexible, you don't stress yourself really out.
yeah.
Let's get flexible. Let's be in the moment. Let's look at the little things do matter. And when it's consistent with lots of passion and determination, it becomes a big achievement.
Wait, when's your birthday?
August 30th, and it's
August
Saturday.
30th. Oh, on a day that we do the podcast. All right. All
So
right.
that would
Okay.
be a question. That would be a question because I was trying to go to Korean spa. So we'll
Oh,
see.
okay.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll
I'm,
see.
I'm
I
gonna
was
add this to my
trying to.
calendar so I remember.
I planned to go to Korean spa and experience place called Nikolai in
Mm,
Atlanta.
mm-hmm.
So I'm still trying to sort that out together. So if I do that, that has to be really early. I have to leave. So I have to see if we're doing it Saturday or something
Mm.
because I do have a birthday dress that I would love to wear
There you go. You'll
for a
like it.
podcast. But I
We
have to see if it's gonna be Sunday or Saturday because if I'm going to Korean spa and it's 2 hours away from my house and there's no spots of service to be able to be online. So,
okay. Yeah. No, I'm
but
gonna.
I will keep it posted.
I did have a determination to fly out there this month, but I might have to push it a little bit. But I definitely still have to fly out there just so we can do motivation station stuff.
Come
I'll
when the
keep.
Ramsey come.
Hmm?
He's
Yeah. No.
coming in
So that was the
September.
time. But was it September?
He's coming sometime in August and September. We actually don't know exactly when, but I have a good feeling he's coming for anniversary of the casino. Casino is gonna be 10 years old, so
What
he was invited for anniversary.
do you know? What do you know? What date that is? Oh, we
No,
could talk about it. We could talk about it later. But
yes,
I do
we're
want
gonna
to
talk about
I
that.
do want to come out for that. Or come out, like my goal is just to come see you in person and figure some things out and just see you, right?
Yeah,
Because I couldn't
we're
make it out
we're
because
gonna journal. Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah too. Well, yeah, we got plenty of stuff to work on. But yeah, no, I was supposed to come see you this week, but like I said, since it was like the last 2 days of my job, it was tough for me to break out. But I was texting Gina. I'm actually gonna see if I can catch her next week or the week after.
Yeah, and actually, what I did is I ordered the coverall. I should call it coverall. I don't know for the cleaning, like an apron,
Okay, yeah,
and it was like a custom ink company, and I could put my any logo. So I put Motivation Station logo. So when it comes, I'll take a picture and send it to you.
yeah. We
It is
gotta.
so neat.
I'm gonna make some cards
Yeah.
soon. But I gotta remake the QR code because I need the QR code points out our YouTube channel, Spotify. I don't know if it points out our Facebook, so that I need to update it. But once we have all our
Okay.
social media stuff up to date, then we'll have
Yeah.
one QR code for everything that I'm gonna put on mugs, shirts, cards. Maybe after a
Yeah.
while
I have the
you can
logo on that apron. So I'll show you how.
yeah, no, for sure. Like anything like that. Yeah, listen, it's your cleaning business, but it doesn't hurt to shoutcast, motivation
Of
station at all.
course. Come on.
Um, yeah. So we'll figure.
Association for motivation. Yeah.
We'll figure that stuff out. Well, there's a lot of exciting things coming, especially within the next 2 months, and I feel like your birthday and my birthday coming up is aligned with a lot of stuff coming up with Motivation Station. In November will or November, October, November, we're coming up to our full year for Motivation Station. The time
Yes. We're
it's
gonna
insane.
probably we're gonna do birthday giveaways and
Yeah, well, we can come up with stuff.
anniversary giveaways. That's gonna be
Day
amazing.
one, day one. The people who are there for us day one, they'll get special stuff. 100%, 100%.
Yeah,
But
super
yeah,
exciting news.
we have a lot of exciting things coming, and um, yeah, I'm looking forward to all of it. This month, like I said, we're just gonna do. I gotta hit up a few people for next week, and I'll probably hit them up today, see if they're available. I want to see if I can get Beverly on next week. Maybe talk more about some
Health.
delicious recipes, right? So I think me and you next week, the goal is to have recipes of our own and share. So then that way we can be like, hey, let's try this, try that, you know. Um, and I have some further ideas that, like, me and you will talk about and we can discuss it further. But I think going forward for Motivation Station, every month we'll be talking about the stuff we will discuss per that month. So this month is going to be all about eating healthy and the determination and the confidence and the consistency, right?
Consistency.
To
Little matters.
to keep that going, right? We're gonna keep the topics, even the topics, consistent. So we're not going into things kind of blind and things like that. Great times coming ahead. I think we'll have a lot more guests joining us. We'll have next week is I'm gonna be out of town, but I'm gonna bring my laptop. So when we do Motivation Station that day, it's gonna be I'm gonna do it from my friend's house. And like I
Okay.
said, next week I'm gonna see if we can get a guest. I'm trying to aim for Beverly again, and just see if they're around. But other than that, we're gonna continue this journey, this wonderful, awesome journey. And I'm happy
Absolutely.
that you had a good trip here. I'm happy that you had this opportunity for your cleaning, and everything is just gonna move forward, you know. And now we have stuff like aprons. We have mugs
Yes.
coming soon, and
Absolutely.
we have a lot.
I want
But
to thank every single person who's still watching us, who's still listening us on the Spotify. I want to say you are so amazing. And I hope with every episode you get just a one glimpse of saying like this is exactly what I need to hear. If you have that moment, aha moment, and if we are here to motivate you and get motivated and grow with you, and of course you're growing with us, please comment, please like and share, and give us a feedback. I really value every person's feedback, any ideas, anything that you have, or any aha moments that you have. Please comment below, because it's just something we working towards, and what's us helping us to be here every Saturday and grow with you and motivate more people and help greatness and great people coming as a guest. And we're really grateful, and definitely we value every single comment and feedback that comes our way to improve our channel, and also to just to say like, hey, we're really proud of you.
yeah, and
We really are proud of you.
even our repeated guests, we had a few people come back, Frank, John, and it was just fantastic to just see them too.
Yes,
We haven't caught
we're
up with
really
them in
proud
six
of you.
months, and yeah, exactly. Like they've grown, and I mean, I'm not just saying this in a motivation station sense. I mean, they're doing their best to continue being the best version of themselves. And I know sometimes we fall back, sometimes we recoil, whatever. But I love the fact that we can catch them, bring them back, bring up that motivation. We had some great conversations. And I know, like, we talked about keeping one thing happy this month, right? Like, oh, it's not one thing happy per week that we do, right? And I'm not gonna lie, it was a struggle this week for me. Like, I thought about things that I've done, and I would say they were happy moments. Like, I was happy, right? But it wasn't like the aha happy moment that like we're talking about. Honestly, for me, this week was doing this podcast. This week, I think I needed to talk about this again because, like, it was just like a tough week, and like I was just like, can I kind of do it? Can I make it? Can I? Is this worth it? And like talking to it about you, and maybe more so, just talking about it out loud has made it more comforting to me. And saying, yeah, like maybe it was something little happened on Friday, but no, look at this opportunity, this golden opportunity in front of me. Like
Yes,
that's what I should be looking
yes,
at, not the bad
yes.
the bad times, because the bad moments will pass. We always aim
Always
for
come and
that.
go.
And I think,
There's always stones will be thrown at you.
yeah.
So what do? You pick up those stones and you build an empire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have two decisions. You can be hurt by that stone, run away. You can pick up that stone, throw it back, or you can look at that stone and build from it. And I decided to choose the latter. And it's funny because
Yes.
there's a game I play, and that's literally one of the first actions you can do. A little boy throws a stone at you, and you can
Look at
either
that.
it's crazy. You can actually throw it at him. You can throw it back at, because he's about to throw another stone. You can throw it back at his hand to scare him, or you can just drop the stone and be the bigger person. So that was my moment. Now was like I could throw the stone back. I can throw it at, like, at a direction that doesn't hurt you but scares you, or I can say no. I'm the bigger person here. Drop the stone and walk away. And
Yeah.
that's what I did. So I feel better about it, and I think that was my moment this week. I think
For my happy moment, yeah, for my happy moment,
it has to be New York.
it's
Or are you
it's
claiming?
not just in New York, or it's just being there in the moment, forgetting about the phone, forgetting about the world, and just being there for that person, 100%, 110%. That's my happy moment. And my other happy moment is me being more rational, not emotional. Because also, a few things happened at work when I was throwing a stone, right? And I picked that stone up. I said, okay, it's not my story. It's your story. Why would I entertain
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
You know?
No, but that's
And
good.
my
And
story looks different. And I said, I'm happy the way I'm reacting nowadays.
yeah, no,
I
that
react with a
100%.
full soul. My cup is full. My spiritual is full. The God said, why be angry?
Yeah.
Why? When you can be patient.
Yeah,
Why?
I think definitely
When
there
you
was
be at
a
peace.
there's
Peace.
that was the biggest thing for me, was that, like, it's like, I mean, there's always going to be things that challenge you. There's always going to be things that get in front of you. That stuff you cannot control, right? And even like, it doesn't even necessarily have to be negative, right? So I know I keep going back to this example, but it's like there's times where I reach out to people, and I would reach out, and then when they don't reach back out, or if I wait for them and they still don't reach back out when I don't, I was being bothered by that a lot. It was affecting me a lot. But definitely I'm at a point now, like, I'm tired of chasing people. Like, if you want to hit me up, talk to
Not your
me.
story.
Now, yeah, I'm good. Like, if I'm not upset about the energy that I gave to you, but now I'm using it as a lesson. Like, okay, well, if you're a little bit busy, that's fine. Hit me up when you want. But then, like, you can't get upset at me if I don't reach back out to you, because my
Yeah.
presence is a gift, not a guarantee, right?
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. And I think my last thing that I'll end on a quote, and I'll end on this quote, because it's from one of my bands that I'm looking forward to singing in September, right? And it's like, the quote goes, "Rain comes down like it always does, but this time I've got seeds around."
Wow.
Yeah. So it's from a song,
That is
and it like
amazing.
like like it, it's such a beautiful song, and like like when they sing that part, they say it with such, like, serenity, such peacefulness. They're like, "Rain comes down like it always does, but now I've got
Wow.
seeds around."
Speaking of the rain, we had
I was just like,
rainbows 4 days in a row
"That's what's up."
at work. And last 2 days, it was three rainbows on and off.
I wish I could say the same for Jersey.
Wow.
We had
Wow
earthquakes.
moments.
We had earthquakes in here. So I don't know if that means that the groundbreaking stuff is gonna happen, but you know, that's what we had. But anyway, guys,
Wow.
honestly. Thank you for being part of our journey.
Yes,
Thank you for being part of our podcast. And we always appreciate you guys here. You know, you guys participate in our conversations. You guys are just here to
cheers. With my
chill and
electric lemon.
relax. We hope for more fun times, more guests, more interaction. I'm hoping to rebuild the way motivation, like our little thing, our little station, how this looks right now. I'm looking forward to improving that. Um, over the course of the next few months, like the way everything looks, right? So right now we just have kind of like a dark green background, motivation station at top. I'm gonna add some flowers. I'm gonna add a little cup of coffee that has steam coming out of it. I'm gonna make everything look a little bit more prettier. So we're going to aim for that a little bit more. So look forward to these fun times, and like Rose said, we're thankful for all of you that have been consistently watching us, joining us on our episodes, participating in our chats, our emails, our Facebook, our Instagram followers, everybody. And we hope to continue growing. And we look forward to seeing you every week. So, cheers one more time to you guys with my little
Cheers with
cat
my
cup. Look at
electric
that.
lemon.
Oh, man, I have to buy more mugs. That's what I need. I got to buy that too, but we'll discuss that later. Um,
This
but
is
thank
my electric lemon with no sugar and B12.
But thank you guys for being a part of Motivation Station, and we'll see you guys next week. So have a motivated
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you.
Please have a motivated day and little things matter.
Yes,
Cheers.
ma'am. Cheers.